From a film history standpoint, one of the things that makes Star Wars interesting is that George Lucas incorporated a lot of elements from other genres and other kinds of film into a big blockbuster science fiction movie, and tapped into things that appeal to lots and lots of different kinds of people who like lots and lots of different kinds of stories, and then merged them into this one thing, this one ostensibly children's movie, kids movie. It's escapist, big blockbuster Hollywood science fiction movie. So he took things from westerns, he took things from samurai films, from fantasy films, and merged them with science fiction to, intentionally or not, make something with the widest appeal possible. It also came at a time where filmmaking, especially Hollywood filmmaking, had become really, really serious and pretty dark. I mean, the 70s, coming out of Vietnam, the Vietnam War, things had gotten really, really serious, and the filmmaking of the time period reflected that. So to have something that appealed to everyone, essentially, and be really fun and escapist really paid off. He also went back to particularly Joseph Campbell's ideas about storytelling. Campbell was a guy who took apart stories that have been told, folklore over hundreds of years, centuries, and looked at, well, how can we boil this down into how stories work, the kinds of stories that have endured for hundreds of years, thousands of years. What are the central elements to that? And he came up with a lot of ideas about this stuff. And one of the things that George Lucas did was take Campbell's hero's journey and apply that to popular filmmaking, or in this case, science fiction filmmaking. So the characters especially in the first Star Wars, follow a lot of the paths that Campbell found from folklore and mythology and whatnot, basically ancient storytelling. So that's another way that he tapped into this kind of universal, primal sense of what kinds of characters we like, what they go through. The idea of having very simple, very stark good and evil, good guys, bad guys, pitting them against each other. I don't know if I have something that I'm really hoping that it's good, other than just being fun and being interesting. What I can say that I hope it's not is a retread of the original trilogy. One of the kind of the negative things about Star Wars in general is it's sort of, people would argue, and I sometimes take this track, it's sort of put us into the realm of nostalgia overall. Where we kind of look to what we grew up with as kids and want more of that. And it's one of the reasons that we have so many sequels and prequels and remakes and reboots. And not all of that is bad, not all of it is good. It's not inherently one or the other. But we've kind of gotten locked into a cycle where we're kind of doing the same things over and over again. So what I'm really hoping they avoid is that, or what I hope they do, is they make something new in the same world, in the same vein, tap into the good things of those original films, and not just remake those original films with new faces.